Hi all, Brad Wright from the Single Malt Whisky Club here, and this month we truly have a trans-generational offering for you, because this month, our Malt of the Month and Members Extra don't just share a category or a country or a cask style, they share a surname. This is a father and son showcase of Australian single malts. On the mainland, Ian Schmidt and his partner in crime Vic at Tin Shed Distilling have rolled out Iniquity Silver Series Batch 24, a wickedly good, hands-on, ex-Tawny and Apera matured Silver Series release built on Vic's one unbreakable rule for the Silver Series: each batch must be better than the last. And from across the water on windswept Kangaroo Island, Ian's son Charlie Schmidt has crafted the island's flagship whisky, the Kangaroo Island Tawny Cask. From barley grown on the island, pristine Antarctic rainwater, and maturation in the cool maritime climate that gives Kangaroo Island whisky its elegance and balance. It's already a star, taken out gold at the IWSC in 2026 with 95 points, and helping the distillery rack up 7 medals alone this year at IWSC. Now, our malt of the month is the Iniquity Silver Series Batch 24. As I said before, there's one simple rule when Vic blends a new batch of Iniquity Silver Series: each must be better than the last. Each batch of Iniquity Silver Series is made from a blend of 4 to 5 sherry and port, or Apera and Tawny casks, which may have a touch of Shiraz matured whisky and even a little peated whisky to round the profile sometimes, but not in this case. Batch 24 is a pure, non-peated Iniquity whisky, matured in ex-Tawny and ex-Apera casks for about 6 years. Cut with pure Adelaide Hills water to the standard for the Silver Series, 46% ABV. But how does it taste? On the nose, look, this one's got a bigger nose than Klinger from MASH, and I guess I'm dating myself with that reference. It's luscious, it's sweet, it's fruity and biscuit spicy. There's some petrichor there, and the signature tin shed leather note, somehow enriching it all, tying it together. On the palate, yum. Some pepper as expected, but it's the dryness that surprises. If it can't quite make up its mind, it becomes sweet and then dry once more, all the while giving minced fruit, flaky pastry and coffee, both sweet and bitter coffee evolving there. The finish, look, it's mostly dry yet long, but there's waves of sweetness that roll in and sort of ebb back into dryness. Interestingly too, I get a certain saltiness as it fades, which mystifies me somewhat. This is one of those whiskies you're going to want to set some time aside when you crack it. You'll definitely pour a second and a third, because you'll want to taste that evolution from dry to sweet and back again, and those sort of waves of salt that come through in the finish. I agree with Ian and Vic's assessment that a tiny bloop of water opens that sweetness up in the palate, but overall it's a complex, evolving, many-layered whiskey. Or is it an onion, donkey? You'll know what I mean when I say I hope you have a whiskey friend around when you crack it, because you're really going to want to talk about this with someone. Yum. Yum. Now, onto our Members Extra, the Kangaroo Island Tawny Cask. Just like at Charlie's dad's distillery at Tin Shed, the whole process at Kangaroo Island, milling, mashing, fermenting, distilling and maturation, is all done in-house by the small team at Kangaroo Island Spirits. The Tawny Cask expression, like all their whiskies, is made from 100% Kangaroo Island produce. The barley's grown here, the water's used, is some of the purest rainwater on the planet, coming straight up from the Antarctic. Fermented on M1 yeast for 7 days. The wash is distilled in the largest copper pot still in South Australia at 4,500 litres. It's been matured for around 4 years exclusively in South Australian tawny casks in the windswept maritime environment of Kangaroo Island, and then bottled at 43% ABV. Let's have a taste, shall we? On the nose, oh yum, the nose is rich and layered, yet not over sweet or cloying. There's the usual suspects of a tawny maturation here, rich fruit, espresso and chocolate, but the surprise for me is there's some jasmine notes floating around on the top. The palate, yum, nice and viscous with just a bit of French oak pepper to offset the delightful fruit mints and crizzy cake sweetness and the toffee notes that abound in the palate. The sweetness turns slightly maritime salty as the palate turns to the finish. And the finish for me really cements the maritime influence with a real salty plum twist there. There's a lovely nuttiness, sort of salty, sweet peanut butter as well that rounds out the finish for me in a delightful way. It's easy to see why this scored so well at the IWSC. It's nice layered whiskey with a delightfully clean, yet not astringent at all, finish. There's no overpowering flower trait, rather a kaleidoscope of nicely balanced flavours and notes that complement each other perfectly. That lovely subtle nuttiness in the finish is really the chef's kiss for me on this one. It's delightful. And that's it for August. Perilously close to Father's Day, and what a pair to celebrate with. Father Ian Schmidt and his Iniquity Silver Series Batch 24, and his son Charlie's Kangaroo Island Spirits Tawny Cask, recent winner at this year's IWSC, 95 points gold medal. As is no surprise, I'll be getting both. Until next month, I'm Brad Wright, Slange Bar.